Plugins are a small program or extension that add new features and new functionality in the WordPress. They range from simple ones like adding automatic lightbox display for image galleries to complex ones like turning WordPress into an e-commerce platform or even a social network. So what makes plugins so useful and so popular is that they live alongside WordPress and you can add, activate, deactivate and completely remove them whenever you want. Similar to themes, you can browse and install all the plugins hosted in the official WordPress plugin directory directly from the admin panel. But before we do that, let us take a look at the plugin directory itself. Finding plugins is not a matter of following a list of recommendations. It is about figuring out what your site actually needs and also what is your actual requirement to find the best solution for your website. For example, let's say you want to add a contact form to your site. If you search contact in the plugin directory, you will see hundreds of options. As a new user, how would you know which one to choose? Well, there are some tools built into plugin directory, both on the web and in the WordPress admin that can help you out. All plugins are listed with their name, logo, author and metadata. Now in the metadata, you will find how many active installation of these plugins exist and their average rating as well, and how many people have rated it, and even a link to the plugin review as well. Using this information, you can examine the plugins to make sure they are as good as they all claim to be. A plugin with thousands of active downloads and only one good review is probably not as good as one with only 100 active downloads but 30 good reviews. Likewise, a plugin with 5-star rating but only 500 users is probably not as good as an equivalent plugin with 4 stars. But 50,000 active users, here you have to use your judgment and do some critical thinking to find the best solution that a plugin can provide. Once you find a plugin you think you want to use, go on the web and look for some more reviews. People often write reviews or tutorials about that particular plugin in how to use it properly. If after all this you are still not sure whether it is the right option, take it for a test drive in your site. You can test 4 or 5 or even 10 plugins before choosing the final options. But do not go too much plugins. And even if you are ready choosing a plugin, you can always swap it with another one which fits best. Finally, it is suggested only keep the plugins you actually use. If you test a plugin and it doesn't work, completely delete it. That's what we do. Leaving the inactive plugins in your install takes up space and can lead to security issues as well. Now, management of plugins is done from the WordPress admin panel. Because plugins play such a vital role in WordPress itself, they have their own main menu item and subsections where you can view install plugins and add new plugins. To extend the functionality of WordPress, you can install new plugins. You can either go to add new function from the plugins page on the bottom up here. Now from the main menu under plugins, add new. We get the exact same information as we would from the plugin directory. In order to navigate between the different plugins, you can either look at featured plugins, the most popular plugins, recommended plugins, and you can also set up your own plugin favorites by creating an account on wordpress.org. However, each of the plugins is displayed with its own icon and other information like the title, description, the creator ratings, which we have already mentioned. If you want more information, you can also click more detail, which opens the full page of information from the WordPress plugin directory. Once you are satisfied with your choice, you can either click install now from the dialog itself or click install now directly on the plugins page. If you want to find a specific plugin with a specific feature, you can search by keyword or by author or even by tag. So let's just install a contact form plugin. So what we'll do is we'll do a quick search for contact form. And now you can see I got a list of all the available plugins that have the keywords contact form. Contact form 7. The one with the mountain logo was the one I was specifically looking for, and I'll go ahead and just click on install now. Now the install is happening right in front of our screen. If you noticed, it cycled through installing and now the button changed from install now to activate. So you can simply activate the plugin directly from here just by clicking activate. Once plugin is activated, we are taken back to the install plugin page, and now you can see contact form 7 here. As contact form 7 is now active, it's highlighted in blue and has this blue bar on the side. Here you can deactivate the plugin, go up to setting for the plugin. Also, you can edit the plugin if you want to and get more information. If you want to delete the plugin, you have to deactivate it first, and then you can delete it directly. And if you want to reactivate it, simply click activate it. Once you have themes and plugins installed on your website, it's vitally important that you keep them up to date. If you have plugins or themes that are not up to date, WordPress will tell you if there is an update. You can see a recycling icon up there in the WordPress toolbar with a number beside it. It can also be seen in the dashboard under updates, or you can see directly in installed plugins under the plugins that has an update saying there is a new version available. And if there is an update, you can simply click update now. That would update the plugin, or you can go to dashboard, go to updates and update it directly from there itself. And you can also follow the link in the WordPress toolbar that takes you directly to run the update. As you can see, the update process is incredibly simple. You can just go into the page, click update, everything happens behind the scene. You do not have to do anything. So anytime you see that update mark on your toolbar or even in the dashboard, you ensure that you go in and update your themes and your plugins right away. Now that you know what plugins are and how they work, you probably want to know some useful plugins to start with, but we do not know what are the requirements for your website in particular. So instead, we'll give you some suggestions on types of plugins that can be useful for most of the site. As your WordPress site grows, so does the amount of text, images, codes, and other media files. A bigger website means that it will make longer to load. So to avoid slow response time in WordPress, you should also invest some time in optimization. Now, Google XML Sitemaps is a plugin which is automatically generated XML sitemaps for better search engine optimization. It will ensure that your page loads quickly and efficiently, thus leaving your visitors happy. Another plugin, which is Yoast SEO, is probably the most popular SEO plugin for WordPress. It will help you improve the search engine optimization from meta tags to writing suggestion. So probably Yoast SEO plugin is the one that you can use for your SEO activity. Now, a cache is a temporary data storage. In most cases, active data is cached, which result in reduced loading times. For example, when you access a frequently visited site, your browser will have a portion of the site's static content located in its cache. As a result, the browser needs to request fewer files and information from the server, which ultimately leads to quicker loading time. Most popular WordPress caching plugins are WP Super Cache, W3 Total Cache, and WP Fastest Cache. You can simply go ahead and looking for those plugins, and you may find most WordPress admin does not know they are vulnerable, but iTheme Security works to lock down your WordPress, fix common holes, stop automated attacks, and strengthen user credentials. Another useful plugin on the list is Contact Form 7. It can manage multiple contact forms, plus you can customize the form and the mail content flexibility with simple markup. The form supports Ajax-powered submitting, reCAPTCHA, Akismet, spam filtering, and so on. To give you a sampling of what a site may look like once you install a series of plugins to extend its functionality, we have added some plugins. As you can see, it's Google XML Sitemap, Yoast SEO, and a Contact Form 7. Now, we'll show you a demo with Contact Form 7. As you saw previously, when you add Contact Form 7 to your website, you get a new menu item up here in the content area called Contact. And from here, you can create a contact form. By default, you get one contact form created, and you can also create a new custom contact form. So you may add a contact form, and once you have done that, you can add it to a specific page. So in this case, I created a new page called Contact Us, which is a static page for our website. Now we have written in some basic text. And then I added the contact form so people can contact me directly from the site.